Welcome to the Dream Life is Real Life podcast with your host, Hannah Hermanson, bringing you real life stories of people who realized their dreams to educate and inspire you to create your legacy of abundance now.
Hello, everyone. Today, I'm hanging out with Stephanie Bellinger. Now, Stephanie has quite the story. So back in 2015, she was in a massive transition phase, recovering from what felt like a huge failure from her first venture into self-employment. She had her own personal training business, and after about a year and a half of doing awesome and feeling on top of the world, she eventually allowed all of the doubts and fears take over, which led her back to square one, getting a side job while shifting into what her soul was really pulling her to do. So she decided to embark on a deeper personal and spiritual growth journey, diving into working with plant medicine and moving across the country with just a couple of suitcases. Me too. And yes, it is the best decision ever. So after doing a lot of this deep inner work and connecting the dots in her own journey, she was led to start a coaching business and create Spiritual Boss Babe. Her purpose and vision has become even bigger than just herself. And now she's so grateful to be fully and abundantly supported mentally, spiritually, and financially from her soul's work. It's her mission to help women activate their confidence, creativity, and power while destroying the limiting beliefs and patterns that we have been keeping and that hold us back. So she can help you do the same, right? So like she says, her mission and vision is to help you live life on your own terms, do what sets your soul on fire, call in more abundance in all the ways, and serve at the highest level of your unique gifts. Welcome, Stephanie.
Thank you, Hannah, so much for having me here.
And I didn't realize how much of our how much of our endeavors into sort of like solopreneurship or starting businesses is the same, right? Coming from a background in fitness and transitioning into like, let me just live in my backpack and figure out what life is really supposed to be about. And now being, into these conversations around abundance and living on purpose.
Yeah, it's been quite the journey.
Definitely. So I would love to hear a little bit more about, the honesty you shared in just that intro as far as being a personal trainer, being in that space, doing the things, finding some success. And then you said you let those limiting beliefs and doubts take over.
Yes. So I was personal training when I was living in New York City. Like I started personal training, I think it was like maybe 2012. And that was when I first realized that like I was meant to help people in like a deeper way. And I really felt on purpose more than I ever have before. So I was working at a gym for about a year, and I always was an entrepreneur. Like I was always like planning my thing of like how I'm going to like, change the world, how I'm going to work for myself, all this stuff. But, so finally, I had my first venture into self-employment during that time when I was a personal trainer after about a year, like I said. And it was like this complete shift in my reality from at that time, I was like couch surfing for 3 months in between apartments, had barely anything in my bank account to, making 5-figure months and training my clients at this really posh gym and building my online coaching business. And it was like this complete paradigm shift, complete reality shift. I was on top of the world, like, holy shit, this just happened like so fast. Wow. Oh my God, this is my dream come true. I'm living in New York. I'm self-employed. And then like a little over a year later, maybe it was almost 2 years later, I forget, but I started like really just letting all of these limiting beliefs and doubts and fears take over. It was as if like I was experiencing a dark night of the soul moment again. And like I had to work through these limiting beliefs and heal old things from my past in order for me to really step into my purpose, like even more. And so that's when I felt like everything crumbled. I ended up getting a side job again. And I was like, I don't know what I'm doing with my life. Like I feel like I need to help people in an even deeper way than fitness. And I don't know what that looks like. And who am I?
Yeah, totally. So I'm wondering what you think about this, especially knowing that you do so much work in abundance.
Mm-hmm.
So, what do you think about the philosophy that money earned quickly goes quickly and money earned over time? Or I don't know what the second part of the quote is, but just the idea that, like, the get rich quick schemes or the overnight successes just don't last. How do you
Well,
respond
I
to
think
that?
that it really just depends on your inner world, like you can manifest a lot of money like very quickly, and it can also go really quickly if you're not fully embodied, and like if you didn't fully like integrate that new identity of being wealthy, of being abundant,
Mm,
it can go just as quick. And so that's basically what happened for me. It seemed like it felt literally like an overnight thing. Even though there was like, obviously I was been on this journey for a while, but when I first went self-employed with that thing, it felt very overnight. And uh you know, I wasn't fully integrating all of the shifts and at the identity level. I always teach at the identity level, like who you're being, right? I wasn't fully being the abundant, confident, successful badass that I wanted to be. I was kind of like stepping into it, but like stepping out of it too, because I still had like
mm.
I still had stuff to heal and process and all this stuff. So my take on that is really it depends, like,
Yeah, I
who
love
you're
that.
being.
Yeah, I think that's so important, and it's you make it sound so graceful and so obvious, and like I think that's really the hardest part of anything that we do. It's like fully embodying, whether you're trying to lose weight or start a business or have more confidence or attract a mate. It's like, oh yeah, just be that, or just clean up my inner world.
Mhm.
So I love that you make it sound so simplistic, and I'm curious, what are some of the things that you've done to improve your inner world so that now this new endeavor or this next iteration of your business is more stable and long term?
Yeah. Well, during that time, it's so funny because I never really told my story starting at that point. So this is very interesting.
Mm.
But I always go like back even further, but this is a really great point and great questions. Thank you. But during that time when I was going through that, oh my gosh, like, I don't know if I'm going to be able to keep this up, like getting a
Yeah.
side job again. I was started delving deeper into the inner work. I started going to EMDR therapy. I started getting into hypnosis. I started doing EFT tapping, and I was led to working with sacred plant medicine. And I was really going in. Like, I was like, I am going to transform whatever program is running in my mind that's telling me that I'm stupid, or that's telling me that I'm not enough, or that's like, I am going to get to the freaking bottom of that, because I know that that's not me. But
Mm.
at the same time, the voice was there and it was taking over all the time. And so I was just getting frustrated and delved deeper. So things like that really have helped me. EFT is really, really powerful. It's something that I now add to all of my stuff to help other people, like
Mhm.
EFT and hypnosis. I later went on to get certified, and really delving deeper into that, because those are some tools that have really helped me transform. But like, it all starts with awareness, right? Like, if you don't have what you want, or if you're not seeing the success that you want, that's your cue and clue right there, like what stories are going on in the background.
Mm.
It's not that hard to see what your limiting beliefs are. Like, yeah, they're subconscious, but if you look at your reality and it doesn't, you're not seeing what you want, like, show up, or you keep it like experiencing the same kind of like experiences or patterns or whatever,
Yeah,
that is like a cue of like what stories are going on in the background. And we need to shift at the subconscious level. Otherwise, it's like a program. Your brain is like a program.
exactly. Yeah. Yeah, it's so interesting because um you have to learn first that skill set that you are not your thoughts.
Yes, that's the
And
biggest thing.
right, and being able to detach and observe, okay, I'm repeating this pattern over and over. It's not because of my mother, it's not because of the season, it's not because of whatever happened that day, right? We think, oh, I drank again, or oh, I spent money again. That's because of all these external things. But when you can take a look at everything in your life, your thoughts have created.
Yeah. One of my favorite sayings, like, just to remind people, is you are not your thoughts, you are not your beliefs, you're not even your circumstances.
Mm-hmm.
You are literally the being who's like doing the things and experiencing life and thinking the thoughts.
Right. Ugh, okay. I love it. So, what are some examples of like amazing? I mean, because just because in my own life and my own work, I know that like the law of attraction and activating, your subconscious just results in amazing things. So, do you have like a client success story or some just like amazing example that you can share with us? Since, I mean, you are a manifestation queen, I would say.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of examples in my own life and in clients, like in my personal experience, like literally I went from like 2 years ago, I was in that transition phase pretty much. I was like,
Mm,
had barely any money in the bank account, was sleeping on an air mattress. I didn't even have a car. And then I ended up getting like, and from going from that to creating a multiple six-figure business and like, moving into a beautiful luxury apartment, manifesting like the love of my life,
mm,
just so much freedom and travel and fulfillment, so many things. It's more like the feelings and experiences are where it's at for me. It's not really in the material things necessarily for me personally. I focus on feelings, experiences, and connections, and through that, like all of this other stuff just comes along with it. But
mhm,
I've had clients like that have experienced really rapid shifts and transformations from this work. And, I've had one client, yeah, for example, she actually manifested like 40 grand in a matter of 4 weeks, um,
mhm,
through the processes of like hypnosis and embodying the new identity
mhm,
of the version of yourself who's already on the other side of it. And so like this is all a practice. Like everything that I'm saying is a practice. It's like
mhm,
working a muscle at the gym. You work your manifestation muscle, and the real key is to operate feeling as if like you what you desire is already here, or no matter what happens you're good anyway.
mhm,
It's like no matter what happens, I'm good anyway. I'm happy anyway. I feel freaking awesome anyway. And so
mhm.
when you reach that place, it's like it comes so much faster and easier.
Right. Yeah, right. That comes back to this. You are not your circumstances.
Yeah,
You can be and become anything you want to be. Your dream life can be your real life.
exactly. Your dream life
um,
can be your real life. I actually think it's most helpful for me personally, like I really do think I found in my experience, like, yes, I've had an intention to manifest a certain amount of money at times, but I really find that it's more powerful to focus on like what I want to actually spend that money on, or like,
mhm,
experiences I want to have, or like, you know what I mean? Like when
mhm,
I focus on that as well as like, how can I just be of highest service to other people and call this energy exchange in, it feels so much easier.
mhm. So, something that's on my mind, just knowing the people that are listening are mostly business owners, entrepreneurs, and this energetic exchange you just talked about. I would love to hear how you've taken spirituality into business building.
Yeah, so
I mean, like
actually,
all the ways or anything specific
well,
that, yeah, you're integrating.
yeah, and I'll share a little bit of my journey because I'm always shifting and expanding, just like anyone. So when I first started Spiritual Boss Babes, it was like I wanna, I believe that like the entrepreneurial journey is a spiritual journey. Like
Mm,
if you're on purpose and you want to serve others and you want to make this big impact, it's a spiritual journey because you need to become a different version of yourself in the process. Like, and not to say like, oh, you got to be someone different than you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, you have to become the greatest version of yourself behind all of those stories, doubts, fears, all this stuff. So it's like a spiritual journey of growth in and of itself when it comes to growing
mm,
your business. So, that's one avenue of it. So in order for you to make the impact you desire and the income you want, you're going to have to, do that inner work because your inner world creates your outer world. And then also like, I believe that growing your business and like really making shit happen is like 85% energy, 80-90% energy, and like 10-15 whatever percent strategy.
yeah.
Like I didn't always know that. In the beginning I was like, oh, I gotta find the strategy, or I gotta do it this way. And I got so burnt out, and I didn't want to hear it. Like, oh, you got to work on this first. But then later on, I realized, wow, like it's an energy game. It's like really like an energy game of like showing up in my confidence and power, like really being of high service, channeling through amazing content, allowing it to flow through. Because when you overthink things, when you get in your head so much, you don't allow that magic of flow to come through you. And like, I believe that spirit is channeling through all of us to, with whatever we're doing, you know, whether you're writing a book, whether you're coaching people, whatever, is channeling through if you allow it, when you're aligned with your soul. And if you're in your head, you're not always like super aligned with your soul. It's like that marriage of mind and heart and like really aligning with your highest self. So anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So much goodness there. And I just want to elaborate because I was totally the same way. Like, okay, I just need the strategy or just need like my ads to convert or all these, again, external things that we want to point to in order to blame or explain why certain things are happening in our life and our business. And two things I wanted to just add to really underscore what you're saying. I had a mentor tell me early in my business when I was a strategy hound, you know, whatever's not working in your business is also not working in you.
That's really powerful.
Yeah. Right. And like your business is literally a mirror to your belief systems, to your energy, to your subconscious. And then the other thing I've just recently really understood, right? You hear these things, you quote unquote learn it, but when you really understand it, those like Pinterest quotes just take on a whole different meaning, right? And the thing that I had been thinking about was ease. Like it's supposed to have ease. It's not supposed to be effort, effort, effort all of the time. Like life doesn't work that way. And I was starting to recognize this. And then I picked up Esther Hicks' Ask and It Is Given at the perfect time. And I allowed ease into my business. Like once you have foundational pieces in place, like you do not have to be hustling and grinding and on your phone 24/7 and like getting on calls and allow things to come to you. And then they totally did. Like literally when I made that decision, like I'm going to just experiment and allow things to come to me.
Yes, I resonate with that so much because I reached a point like that as well, where I was tired of freaking hustling. I was tired of trying to figure out the best strategy and tired of doing all the different things. And then I literally did something very similar to you. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to like make this a game, or I'm just going to like go with this, and I'm going to commit to choosing my future vision and embodying that into the now. Like I'm going to commit to not paying attention to the thoughts that are not aligned with me, that aren't serving me. I'm going to commit to this, and commit to ease and flow and letting things be easy. And I was so shocked, you know, because the results were like, like my income like tripled within a month of that decision. And it was like mind blowing. And then that's when I became even more like, that's all I teach now, really, because honestly, your vibration is your number one priority. Like it is.
Yeah.
Like your energetic vibration is your number one priority when it comes to manifesting anything that you want in life, whether it's love, whether it's business success, whether it's, you know, $10,000 a month or whatever the hell your number is, but it all comes down to your vibration.
Yeah. Yeah. And I hope listeners are really letting this sit, because I also remember hearing this, like I said, right before I saw the results in my own life and business, I thought it was like fluffy and, oh, good for you. And so I just want to pause for a second, and whoever needs to hear, you know, that like, I get it. I get that this can sound crazy and like, sure, but I also need like a business plan. Okay. But it's the balance of effort and ease, ebb and flow, allowing and receiving that we each are always trying to strike. But opening up to life and business as an experiment.
It is, because you're never going to know how it's all going to look. Like, so if anyone, like if you're looking for how it's all going to look, you're never going to freaking find it ever. Like, I don't think any entrepreneur out there at all has ever known like that their business was going to look the way it is now when they first started. When I first started, I had no fucking clue what I was doing. I literally decided to start a Facebook group, bring people together. I didn't know how to grow a Facebook group, but I showed up like as if it was already thousands and thousands of people. And, you know, it just freaking blew up. Like after the first year, it blew up like real quickly. Like people ask me all the time, how'd you grow your group so big? And I'm like,
That's my
honestly,
energy.
well, I say it's a balance. It was a balance.
Right.
There's
Right.
things I did, but I don't think I would have thought about doing those things if I wasn't in the energy of it first. You know what I mean?
Yes.
If I was
Yes.
showing up as, oh, I don't have people joining my group, or I'm going to just fail and I suck and blah, blah, blah. And if I showed up in that energy, I wouldn't have done the same actions.
Right.
But I was in this place of, I don't give a shit. Like, who joins
Mhm.
my group? I'm going to talk about the most awesome shit and like just really help people
Yeah.
and just call these people in, and I'm going to make it really fun. And I focus on that. And so I took different actions.
Yes.
And I got different results. And so that's the be, do, have model. And this is like this is how manifestation works, you guys, like with anything. Be, do, have. Now you got to be it. Then you'll do the aligned actions from the place of being it. And then you will have the result, the desired result, or the not desired result. Depends like who you're being. And so like most people work from they work from, well, when I have
do.
yeah,
Like
they
it's a
always work
song,
in
like,
do.
yeah, be, do, have. And all of us are singing the worst song, which is just do.
Yeah. I was there too. I'm sure you were as well. And it's like this constant reminder. Sometimes, even I go into places where I'm like, okay, I got to remind myself, actually be, do, have, because, well, a lot of people work from, when I have the success or when I have the $10,000 a month or whatever, then I can do more of this, or then I can feel more successful. And I'm telling you to feel successful, abundant, and fucking amazing now.
Yep.
And watch what action, like then you'll take better actions. You'll call in like the perfect mentor for you. You'll find that perfect strategy when you're being in that place of not worrying about the doing actions, but like making your vibration your number one priority. It's backwards the way most people are doing it. I did it backwards for a really long time. Obviously I had my ups and downs and learned from these, like it was just frustrating.
Yep. Yes, I love these examples because I think they're so relatable, and being able to see it or hear it in someone else helps you realize like, oh, that's how I'm not being, or that's how it having actually looks. Because similarly, I for a long time thought like the clients will just show up on my doorstep. Like that's how the law of attraction works. Like I'm just here like putting out the vibe. Okay. And when I just decided I'm going to let this be easy, I'm just going to have ease. Then the idea to create a new program came.
Exactly.
And then the clients were literally, in my inbox, not my front door, but saying, yes, okay, we're ready. And again, it's letting go of how it's going to look or the exact process and just like, yes, this is what we mean by allowing. It's not just like having Mai Tais and quitting on the beach.
Yeah,
right?
it's being first and then doing from that place of being. If that makes sense, like being in that energy of like being the confident badass version of yourself first, and then writing your content and then pressing go live from that energy.
Yes.
And this goes for your content. This goes for your content too. Like, I mean, I'm sure people listening, like how many times have you, like if there's a lot of people that are growing their business online, I'm sure there have been times where you have channeled or written the most epic post or did the most epic live because you were feeling super excited and super inspired, right? And you didn't, you weren't overthinking it. You just let it flow. But then there probably have also been times where you were like, oh, well, what should I post today? Like blah, blah, blah. And like the energy is so different in both of those.
Absolutely. Yeah. I have a notepad and a pen on the edge of my shower because it's in there when I'm not like sitting down at the computer or forcing content. That's where I'm like, oh, that's the post.
Yes.
And I just think, it's a funny thing to highlight. Wow. Okay. This is amazing. I'm just feeling all of the good energy coming through here. We are reaching a pop quiz section of the show, though. Do you think you're ready for it?
Ooh, a pop quiz. I think I can handle it.
You're doing great so far. The first question, and we've talked a little bit about this, but I always love people to have something that they can put into action right away. So question number 1 is, what is one thing that listeners can do to get them closer to their dream life today?
Have more fun.
I love that. I mentioned before we hit record that I just had a RIM session right before this call. It's a reprogramming images in the mind. Okay. And I was telling Stephanie a little bit, it was like a guided meditation, visualization, and all these things opened up for me. And that was one of the things that opened up for me, like with
nice.
party telling me to have more fun. And it's not ironic that you're telling us all to do the same now.
Oh shit, confirmation.
More fun. Yeah, follow the joy, more joy will come. Question number 2. What is a tangible resource, maybe a book or a crystal or a podcast or something that you would just love to gift all of the listeners so that they could have their hands on this resource?
Of mine, I have actually, I always tell people about my abundance activation hypnosis on my site at spiritualbossbabe.com. But I also have I have a lot of resources there to help people reprogram their subconscious and like really just step into their power.
Cool. So,
but aside, what was that?
Say again the website they should go to.
Spiritualbossbabe.com. It's a free hypnosis.
Cool. And then was there another one you wanted to?
Yeah, I'm just always like fueling my mind with empowering things. So like I think I have like a book recommendations and stuff on there too, but just anything you can do to freaking fuel your mind with high vibrational positive things on a daily basis. Get like that. That's an act of reprogramming your subconscious as well. Like that repetition, you know?
Absolutely. Fill that mind with high vibes. So you kind of already answered the third question, but I would love for you to really just let listeners know where they can learn more about you and get connected with you.
Yeah. People could find me, come say hi on Instagram at The Spiritual Boss Babe. I love connecting with people on there. I also have my Spiritual Boss Babe podcast. And of course you'll everything is on my site too at spiritualbossbabe.com. You'll find the community, you'll find the resources and everything that you need to know on there.
Beautiful. Well, thank you so much, Stephanie, for sharing all of these gems and just high vibrations. We really appreciate it. And listeners, go check her out. Stay connected. Her Facebook group is massive and always full of value as well. So thank you again, Stephanie. And I'll be back. Yes, I'll be back next week with another inspiring guest that will help us make our dream life our real life.
You've been learning how to make your dream life your real life with Hannah Hermanson. To get the resources mentioned on today's show and to listen to past episodes, visit www.dreamlifeisreallife.com.